A federal judge has delivered a blow against DOGE in blocking President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency from being able to access the Social Security records of millions of Americans. Maryland-based District Judge Ellen Hollander issued a temporary restraining order on Thursday in a case brought against DOGE, the SSA, and its commissioner, Leland Dudek, by the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, the Alliance for Retired Americans, and the American Federation of Teachers. Now, of course, the administration is already threatening to shut down SSA as a result of this decision. In a 137-page opinion, Hollander wrote, "The DOGE team is essentially engaged in a fishing expedition at SSA in search of a fraud epidemic based on little more than suspicion. It has launched a search for the proverbial needle in the haystack without any concrete knowledge that the needle is actually in the haystack. To facilitate the expedition, the SSA has provided members of the SSA DOGE team with unbridled access to the personal and private data of millions of Americans, including but not limited to Social Security numbers, medical records, mental health records, hospitalization records, driver's license numbers, bank and credit card information, tax information, income history, work history, birth and marriage certificates, and home and work addresses. That is a hell of a lot of personal information that should not be in the hands of the DOGE blunderkins." Funny enough, okay, these blunderkins did not want to be identified. They didn't want their personal information out there when they had access to all of ours. No, hell no. No, no, no. Now, get these people, get them away, okay? Keep them away, because this is only a temporary order. Now, she continued, "Yet defendants with so-called experts on the DOGE team never identified or articulated even a single reason for which the DOGE team needs unlimited access to SSA's entire record system, thereby exposing personal, confidential, sensitive, and private information that millions of Americans entrusted to their government. Indeed, the government has not even attempted to explain why a more tailored, measured, titrated approach is not suitable for the task. Instead, the government simply repeats its incantation of a need to modernize the system and cover fraud. Its method of doing so is tantamount to hitting a fly with a sledgehammer." I really like her order. Okay. I love the use of the word incantation in this. I love it. As well as, of course, calling it tantamount to hitting a fly with a sledgehammer. That is absolutely accurate. Look, the whole idea that there's massive fraud in Social Security is actually the real fraud. Okay? This is a lie. The inspectors general, okay, found no waste, fraud, and abuse in Social Security. It is an extremely efficient program. Extremely efficient. I'm not saying there's never been an improper payment that has been made. Of course it has, right? But that's less than 1% of all payouts have been considered to be improper. And usually it's user error, okay? And so when they find it, they claw it back. That's how it works. And so now, this decision, of course, has the plaintiffs celebrating. In fact, the AFSCME President Lee Saunders said of this Thursday order, "It's a major win for working people and retirees across the country. The court saw that Elon Musk and his unqualified lackeys present a grave danger to Social Security and have illegally accessed the data of millions of Americans. This decision will not only force them to delete any data they currently have saved." Yeah, hopefully they follow that, because that's one thing that I'm concerned about, is them making backups, okay? But it will also block them from further sharing, accessing, or disclosing our Social Security information. AFT President Randy Weingarten also welcomed the development, saying that no one filed for Social Security believing their personal assets would be appropriated by a billionaire, unelected billionaire, who attacked Social Security as a Ponzi scheme. Americans must be allowed to retire with dignity and grace without having to worry about Elon Musk jeopardizing their savings, privatizing it, selling it off to, of course, these private corporations. Sky Perryman, president and CEO of Democracy Forward, pledged Thursday that our team will continue its legal efforts to ensure that this data remains protected and that those responsible are held accountable. This ruling is the first time a federal court has explicitly mandated that Musk and DOGE delete unlawfully obtained data. Good, and they should delete it, but they should be checked to make sure they haven't made any backups or have installed any backdoors into the system. That said, I don't think that's going to be able to happen until Musk and Trump are kicked out of our government, okay? Until then, this is always going to be a concern, whether or not they put backdoors into this, whether or not they still have data that they use to and plan to weaponize against the American people, because that's what this is. Look, they don't belong here. They never belonged there, and they should have never been able to be allowed into this system. But again, that's what Trump wanted to. He passed over all these other people and put Dudek in charge of the SSA because Dudek will play ball. That's it. Look, this kind of reminds me of the Cyber Ninjas, but it's actually way worse. Okay, remember the Cyber Ninjas tried to audit this election data in Arizona, but they were idiots. They didn't know what they were doing, and so you had that, which was all sorts of unqualified people accessing data that they shouldn't be allowed to access. But again, this is worse because you have it in a much more vital system that millions of people rely on. But it is one that Republicans have been targeting for destruction for decades. They've been coming after Social Security since its inception. And yes, it is the third rail of politics, okay? If you touch it, you lose your election. So they figured out, well, we don't have to touch it. Let's just make Elon Musk touch it. Let's let him do it. So he gets all the smoke, and we can say, well, we didn't do anything. We're just supporting getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. We didn't know that Elon Musk was actually trying to destroy it. Oh, of course not. Because again, Elon Musk is not an elected official. He's a special government employee. What election would he lose if he destroys Social Security? Yeah, okay, he'll be super unpopular, right? But what's a little anger at him worth compared to destroying one of the most popular and effective government programs ever devised? You got people in the government, people on the right saying, you know what? This is a great plan. We can get rid of Social Security and then not get the smoke for it. Great. So what if we destroy a program that has lifted millions of people out of poverty and has never missed a payment? Hey, you know what? Great, let's destroy it. Hand it over to our rich friends. That is the end goal. To get rid of Social Security as we know it. To let Musk and DOGE take all the blame for doing something that they've wanted to do for a long time. It's almost the perfect heist. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.